Do, do, do,
We
do.
are live.
Well, hello, hello, hello. It's nice to see you folks again, all over the planet, in the diverse connections of the internet that are possible.
Exactly. I am super excited to talk to you guys today. The subject is how do you speak so that other people can hear you? And there was a great book that was done years ago. It was like How to Talk So Your Kids Will Listen. It's kind of that same concept. It's like one of the main things, one of the most important things around sales is being able to connect effectively with a person. And our definition of connection means not only, oh, thank you, silence my notifications. I will. Thank you. Thank you, honey.
I
You
tried
could
to do it quietly,
you
so,
didn't have to do
and
it
then you go,
quietly.
oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'll do that now. I'm like, okay, so doing it nice and quietly was
It
of
is what it
no
is.
point.
Amy, we don't care. We're all friends here. It's casual. You could just tell me, hey, quiet your notifications. They're loud and obnoxious during lives. Anyway, our definition of openness is basically, or connectedness is when a person connects with you. It's not just like, oh, I met this person today. You connected with them and they want to spend more time with you. That's connection. Right? That's real connection. Hi, looking good, honeys. Jenny Rat says, looking good, honeys. Awesome.
G'day, Jenny. Yeah. A real connection is that you've created this energy exchange, this energy experience, and you've stimulated thought to such a way that their human behavior kicks in and they desire the next moment. There is an anticipation, an expectancy for another opportunity to have contact, to have that connection repeated. So that's real connection.
Yes. That's real true connection. And I love that. And so I love that connection when you feel that with somebody else. It can be really, really special. And it's one of the most important things when we're getting ready to look at giving a message. And look, a sale doesn't necessarily have to exchange money. A sale can be, I'm presenting you with an idea that I want you to believe, or I'm presenting you with like a favorite restaurant. I'm trying to convince you to go to my favorite restaurant with me. Like that can be a sale. And you say yes, that means I closed the deal and you said yes and you're going to my favorite restaurant with me now. Right? So sale doesn't necessarily have to just be in exchange of money. When we're talking about a sale in this concept, it could be a concept, an idea, a service, a product. It could be any of those things. So in order for people to be able to hear you, you have to meet them where they're at. Now, Jace has in his program, he talks about left side of the river and right side of the river. You're taking your clients from the left side of the river to the right side of the river. But in order to get them to the right side of the river, you have to meet them on the left side first. So you have to meet them where they're already at. So that means that your language and the things that you use to describe your beliefs around your business or around life or around spirituality or whatever that might be, your words that you use might not be the words that they use. Right? And so in order for them to understand your words, you have to use their words first. So for instance, I'm trying to think of a good example of it that isn't around spirituality, because I just think about politics and spirituality, because often we have beliefs around things. Hi, Joanna, welcome. We have beliefs around things and we are selling to somebody that has a different belief. So how do we meet them where they're at when they have this different belief to get them to our side and still be true to our own beliefs at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, a good example area would be like we used to own Elite Fitness Zone. We used to own the gym. So some people would come in with a belief structure that it was all just exercise. If they exercised, they would get the result. And so they were just there to learn a different exercise that would give them the result because they didn't have the result they were looking for yet. So you had to meet them where they're at first and then agree talking about, exercise is very important. There is some elements of exercise. Let me have a look at the exercises you're currently doing. Okay, here's some ways in which you can do these exercises more safely, more effectively, and they would feel that in the body. Then you could say, to get more benefit from the exercise you're doing, we also want to look at the other 4 elements from the 5 elements of health. And then they create curiosity. And then like 5 elements, it's like, yeah, exercise is just one of them. It's the one that most people are aware of. And so then you're complimenting them. Yeah, you're just like everybody else. You're very aware and you did some great exercises here. That's very cool. So you're creating that connection. Then you want to go into yet also the exercise, because they have a belief that exercise is the most important, even though it's only 20% of the whole structure. You would then go to elevate it via their connection of exercise. So you would say, well, what helps you get more energy, quicker results, and quicker recovery with your exercise is your nutrition. There's some changes you can make to your nutrition. So this exercise that you're doing really well has quicker results, has greater results. If because of the dialogue, they want to have more energy, you would tie in this would help you have more energy. If they wanted to have bigger muscles, you would say this will help you have bigger muscles. If they wanted to lose weight, you would say this will help you lose weight. So you tie in based on what they already believe, which is partially true. You would then tie in the nutrition. Then you'd say, actually, it's not just nutrition. For that nutrition to be broken down and to go around your body and to have your ligaments and tendons as flexible as they possibly need, we need to talk about your hydration as well. So now you're talking about nutrition and hydration in relationship to the exercise. Then you go for your body.
But in that, they already have a belief that only soda will hydrate them.
All right.
So now because like, how do we talk their language, right?
Yeah.
Around their beliefs, right? So now they have this belief that soda will hydrate them the most. And you know that that's not true. And that is definitely not your belief, right? So how do you still speak their language and then get them to drink the water? Right?
You asking me or you're about to tell them?
Well, I can tell them, but I thought you might have a thought around it. So I paused for a moment.
Oh no, by all means.
Okay. So, okay, great. So they believe that the hydration, yeah, ask them why they believe that. That's a great question. Ask them why they believe that.
Yep.
But also just say, you could also just say drinking soda could potentially hydrate you. So you could be on their side about it. You could say it could potentially hydrate you. It's still not the belief, but you can say it that way so that they can hear the next words that are coming out of your mouth. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, soda does have some hydration. Were you looking for maximum potential or less potential? So exactly. Soda does have some hydration, and there are some sodas that are better than other sodas, and there are some ingredients. So which ones do you actually prefer, and why do you prefer those?
Yeah, and then do you want maximum hydration? But now you're having the conversation once you get onto their side.
Yeah.
Right. So Joanna said having weight loss surgery doesn't fix what causes you to be overweight in the first place. Exactly. Yeah. Actually, we had the five elements of health, which is exercise, sleep, hydration, nutrition, and emotional environment, with emotional environment being the most important one. Right. Yeah. And that's why with this, with selling and selling from the front of the room, that's why the U piece is so important with Jace's program, because the U piece also helps you to understand how you're occurring for other people, which is also the other part of this, right? So for instance, I'm what's called the B Royal personality, which means that I'm super direct. I'm kind of cut to it. I'm big picture person, and I want to get stuff done super fast, right? I'm all about productivity and ROI and bottom line. And I'm kind of non-emotional in the sense that it's not that I don't care, but it's like I don't have time for the little emotions, right? In the sense like somebody spills milk, I'm like, just clean it up, fix it. And if somebody's in a breakdown over spilt milk and they're crying, to a personality like mine, I might feel that that's a little extreme and maybe even petty, right? But to the person that is feeling that way, it is not petty. So in order for me to communicate and actually help that person, I can't occur as a B royal. I'm going to occur as a royal B if I do. So, right. So B royals have a tendency to be a royal B. So we want to make sure we're the B royal. We want to be royal. Right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm softer with that person. I'm going to be aware of how I occur to that person. And I'm going to try to help that person in a gentler way. Right.
Yeah.
Not in my normal, like, get over it way. Right. Where Jamie's the be fun. So he loves humor and fun. And so he might be sitting in a business meeting, and to the B royal personality, it might be like, why are you making that joke? That is not on the spreadsheet. Right. And we are just like, that is not going to fix our bottom line. But to Jamie, like, what is the point of having any meeting if there's not a joke in it? Right.
Well, if you're going to be stuck in a room with a group of people for an extended period of time to solve some problems, actually having a light heart has been scientifically proven to have more creativity and imagination in play, less stress, and more openness, which are things you actually want. Yet they think they've got to be, some people feel you've got to force that, or you're not meant to have that because this is serious. In fact, having a little bit of fun is great. Having too much fun, it becomes a riotous mess. So there has to be a balance. So for me, I have to be aware of where it's supporting the outcome or where it's becoming a distraction.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jamie has to sometimes pull it back a little bit in some of those meetings, and he does. That's and he still cracks jokes and I appreciate it personally. Joanna said, have to be a soft B.
Funny.
Exactly. I have to be a much softer B. Exactly. It's surely not like the other show. And Joanna said, you're a pushover. And she also said, you got to be able to laugh at yourself. This is true. Look, yeah. I am willing to laugh at myself and be the most ridiculous person in the room to get the outcome that I'm looking for.
So the thing to be aware of is not, is to be self-aware of who you are, so how you're occurring for the other person, what beliefs you're triggering in them based on your behavior, your tonality, your movement, and everything else, and the words you
use.
And then also being aware that this person may not be a natural connection to how you communicate. So you have to be aware of yourself so that you appear more natural, neutral, and supportive in that moment, while you learn to understand who that kind of person is and what kind of language or base language that they speak, not necessarily the words, but the essence of their communication. Where is their essence coming from? And then so you can create a connection. You're not going to be an objection to their inner thoughts straight away. You have to remember the 3-step process for any sales. And a sale, as Amy said earlier on, is like, hey, let's get the peppermint chocolate chip ice cream instead of the butterscotch. I know you like butterscotch, but peppermint chocolate chip is on special, and it's got none of that sucralose in it, so it's actually healthier. It's a healthier ice cream. We should do that one today. Okay. And I was like, oh, all right, we'll do that one. I just made a sale. I switched the thought processes. I'm going to continue in this framework to I'm going to adopt a new framework, which is going from butterscotch ice cream to choc mint ice cream, which is a much better choice, folks out there. Just
butterscotch is definitely
the better basically. Let me show you the spreadsheet I created. Any kind of sales process, the 3-step way is you have to connect. Connection has to happen first. There has to be a connection. Then you can do coaching, then you can do closing. Now, connection, if your marketing is done spot on, fantastic. Connection's already been created from your marketing. Yet the truth is there's so much marketing and so many people have been marketed to and hard sold and manipulated, who've sold so many times now in life that that wall is pretty solid and pretty hard to get around with just marketing. So you have to use the connection phase. Connecting is by speaking their language and the intention of their language and being aware of how you occur and what personality type they are, so that you can build that bridge to be able to communicate, create a connection, get some openness, some expectancy, some trust, and then you can go into coaching. And then the close, when you do these steps correctly, your close is, hey, you want this? Fantastic. Let me help you find the money, rather than, well, how much money on your credit cards? Have you thought of trading in your 401k? Have you, you're helping the person get the money rather than convincing them they need to give you the money. It's two completely separate ways.
Also, guys, start checking my social medias. I'm going to start teaching you guys how to spot those manipulative sales tactics so that you're never taken by them again. Because look, manipulative sales is not the way to sell anybody. And I am so tired of any of those companies that act like that, that I have just made it personally, just this morning, my life mission to teach you guys those tactics so that you don't get taken by manipulative sales tactics. Because this is not what this is about. It is not about manipulating anybody into buying something.
Manipulative sales tactics actually create more chargebacks, more cancellations, and an increase in the negative environment in the social consciousness in the marketplace of you and your products. So you really want to do the natural, supportive sales process that builds a community. Moving forward, especially post-COVID or almost post-COVID, depending on what article you read, there is a desperate need for community. Now, this community can be in a virtual complex as well as in a personal, in-person structure. Yet the building of community is highly sought after. And the way you do that is you have to build trust and you have to connect. And you can only connect by meeting people where they're at and then showing them by your behavior, by your actions, by your
not by your words, not by words.
As an example. So they want to then find out more of who you are and what you have to offer. Live your life in such a way that people don't feel condemned or judged. Live your life in such a way people feel compelled to know more about it and to live closer with it.
Yep,
be an example.
Exactly. Be an example. Oh, I love that. That's fantastic.
On stage, off stage. Off stage is more important, because however you are off stage as a habit of being, it will show up no matter how much training you do when you get on stage.
Exactly. That's why the you piece, again, like that you piece that Jace does is, I would say it's the most important piece of this whole program. And I love it. I love the whole program, but I think that you piece is it's the key. It's always the key, because look, it doesn't matter what I tell you to eat, what I tell you to do. It doesn't matter whether I want to help you change your health, your money, or your relationships. I have to change your mind first, because otherwise you're not going to even do the other things. Right. So it all starts with that you piece. Joanna said, what are your bad habits that just happen? Some say, some have gestures. She says, you have to stay aware of what your body's doing, even though you're engaged. And she said, from a thing in the past, I'm a wiggler and have very interesting facial skills. That's cool. That's great. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. Right. Joanna. Yeah. Be an example. Don't tell me, show me. Absolutely. I am all about that. But back to the body language that she was talking about, that's kind of cool, because we are kind of talking about that a little bit. And it is being more aware. When you do study body language, you become more aware of your own body language. And as actors, that's one of the things that we really learn. My first acting coach, what was so interesting, I know Jamie's heard this before, but my very first acting coach, when I went to him, so I had a house that burnt down. And my best friend's 3-year-old son died in the fire, and my daughter was there when it happened, and it was just tragic. And I was raising this kid as my own, and I cried for probably 3 or 4 months. Like, I didn't stop crying. I couldn't stop crying. So when I went to my acting coach, it was 2 or 3 years later, but my face was in the habit of this. And I did this with my eyebrows the whole time. I couldn't get my face out of this. I was just sad. I was sad, you guys. I was just super sad. So I go to this acting coach, and what he made me do was he made me put a piece of tape, a little piece of Scotch tape right here. And I had to wear it every day for 2 weeks. And it got me out of the habit. And what was interesting was as I got out of the habit of it, I would notice when I would do it. And I would do it, I would make the face when I was feeling insecure around people. That was my insecure face. I went straight back into this habit of insecurity, just of this face that I was just making. And it was so interesting to the scrunch. I had the scrunch face, yeah. It was so interesting to get out of that habit of my own body language. Yeah, it's a learning.
It is. And so one thing you could do is start to practice really listening to people the first time you meet them. Say hello, share a smile, and then ask them a question, and then expand on the question. Be interested in who they are, and just observe, what does this person want other people to think about me? That's your exercise. That's your challenge. That's your homework, so to speak. This is something that will improve your ability moving forward. Is when you're speaking and talking to people, what does this person want other people to think about them?
I think more importantly, what does this person want me to think about them? That's what I'm asking. What exactly does this person want me right now in this moment to think about them?
Yep, that's true. That's true.
That's kind of what I do. And then just really practice listening. And before you make any hard statements around your own beliefs, find out what their beliefs are first. Because the minute you make a hard statement around a belief, it's like you just never know. You just never know what their beliefs are or what they've been through around it. And what trauma they've been through around it. So it's just really important to figure out where people are at and then meet them where they are and just allow them, for you to get them on your side of the river. You have to meet them on theirs first.
You have to meet them on their side and then build a bridge by your actions and your behavior to bring them across to the other side.
As an example.
Exactly. As an example.
Joanna said, you can't take back your words. People can forgive, but not forget. You guys, we have an event coming up in April, and it is Dynamic Life. It's going to be, that's the you piece that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. If anybody would like to go to that, or if you guys would like to check it out, or you want to find out more what that's about, Jamie and I will be there. It's going to be in Texas, I believe, right now. And it's going to be amazing. It is 4 days of really leaving all of your baggage in Texas. So you're going to come in, you're going to leave a whole new you. It's absolutely amazing. The before and after pictures that Jace has, no, it's in person, Joanna. If you want to go, let's have a chat. We can talk and see if it's a right fit for you. I would want to have a conversation for you. I want to make sure that's something that would be good for you. But the before and after pictures are amazing. They come in, we take a photo, and after 4 days we take another photo, and everybody looks like 20 years younger. And we didn't go to a spa, not once. And you're just like really like peeling out all of the limiting beliefs and all of the gunk and all of the baggage, and you're just leaving it all there, and you go home a totally new person. It's absolutely life-changing. I've seen it over and over and over again.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know until someone points out that you don't know it. So this Dynamic Life allows you to become self-aware through the exercises, the processes of things that you didn't know about yourself and how they're limiting you, and then how to release them and how to replace them with something that supports, uplifts, and excites you and supports you moving forward.
Exactly. Here, I'll throw a calendar link real quick into the chat, and you guys can book with us if you want to have a conversation about that. Let me find it real quick.
For sure.
I should have had it ready. I did not.
This is a great time for you folks to share a joke with us. Uh,
I think Joanna. Chat.
Nan's saying that it's so true. If you haven't attended Dynamic Life, you have to go.
Oh, it's amazing. Yes, Nan, thank you for that. There's the booking link. Feel free to book in our calendar. You'll either get myself or you'll get Jovan or Jamie, and we can just have a quick chat with you about what it looks like. See if it's a right fit for you. It's no big deal. No pressure. I promise. We do not work like that. We only want the right people. So
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not positive.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well,
awesome. Cool. Well, what should they remember, Jamie?
Hey, folks, remember that everybody out there in the world is going through their own struggle. That everybody has a struggle of some form, some fashion, some obstacle, or some issue. And you may not see it from the outside, yet everyone's feeling it to some degree. Yet there is one thing that you can do to make the world a better place. There's one thing that you can do to help everybody you meet, regardless of their struggle, and it's simply share a smile. So when you're out and about, share a smile with a stranger, and if you're adventurous, give them a little wink.
I'm adventurous.